Hello, everyone. News Channel 3, Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson here with a Facebook Live update. Hope everybody's having a decent Friday night. 9:05 on the clock. Just turned over to 9:06, so we'll get this thing moving as soon as we get some folks in here. And once we get some eyes in here, then we'll begin moving on. It takes a little while, of course, for folks to log on. But you see what's going on here as far as the stories here that I'm tracking. I'll sort of squeeze myself back just a little bit or pop it back up there until folks start moving in. I see more and more people coming in, so that's good to see. Again, we've come to the end of the week, and it's been really a fairly quiet week as we had another day with high temperatures in the 30s. We continue to be not only snowless, but Old Man Winter really hasn't made an appearance in the sense that we haven't really had any Arctic air either. Dan's in the house. Chief Dan, thanks for being here. It is a difficult forecast for next week. Mike, good evening. Thanks for holding down the fort there on the east side of the state. Appreciate it very much. But you're right, Dan. It's a difficult forecast for next week. And, we keep looking for clarity, and so far we're not really getting any just yet. And, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that we're really going to probably get that really good clarity that we're looking for until Saturday or even Sunday, maybe even later on Sunday. Mike, happy Friday to you, too. Thank you very much for being here. Looks like folks are starting to file in here, so we can go ahead and get moving. You see what's on the agenda for us for this Friday evening? Gwen's in the house. Thanks. Mike says, push that storm east. Hey, buddy, if it stays south and east a little bit more, then you're going to be in the path of heavy-duty snow as well. I'm sure that's what you want. I know that you want that. Sean, good evening in Portage. Gwen, hello to you. David, tuning in from the ground this time in Seattle. So raw out there. I haven't really looked and see what's going on out there in Seattle. Home of the Space Needle over there, of course, are out there. But thanks again for chiming in yesterday from the air, last night from the air over in Montana. That was pretty great. Hey, bundle up, right? Hey, as much as we're known for clouds and gloomy weather in the winter, which is true, they are too there in Seattle, right? They are too. Happy Friday to you too, Greg. Hope you're doing well. Mike, hoping that rain stays away. I got to tell you, I am too. Fine with what we have right now. No snow. Hello, Millwood. Julia in the house in Kalamazoo. Plainwell and Otsego. Corey, hello to you. Let's get right to it. Got about 115, 120 people in here, so we'll move on. Well, you see at the top of the agenda actually isn't that storm next week. It's what we have coming up this weekend, but that's really very minor, very minor. I had a great day, Shannon. I hope you have too, and I hope you have a great evening as well. Oh, wow. Still have flowers hanging on there in Seattle with the rain, I bet, too. Elise, hey, Happy New Year to you, too. Elise the artiste, right? Elise the artiste. Thanks for checking in. And a Happy New Year to you, too. I hope everything's off to a good start for the year 2024. We'll get to that snow, Kathleen, for Vicksburg next week coming up. Now, let's talk weekend first. Hello to you, Austin, and Maddie from Holland. It's going to be a little impact with this storm that's coming in here for the weekend for us. Remember, there's an East Coast storm, but that's for the folks on the East Coast. We're not having to deal with really anything from that. We have that little clipper that's coming through here, and that's going to give us a little shot of snow. But I mean little, not very much at all. Ron, get the plow. I got the plow on. Bring it on. We'll have to cross our fingers. But let me tell you this, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But in about 10 days' time, I think that plow is going to come in handy. Even if the storm next Tuesday doesn't really pan out much for those of you who are plowing for profit, then I think beyond that, I think that we'll probably have some more plowable snow coming up. Scooter, hello to you. Maddie, traveling home from the UP on Sunday. You should be good. I don't think you're going to have any impacts from this little impact on our weekend snow. Okay. Next story, of course, is the storm that's next week, and questions do remain from that. Questions still remain there. Next Friday, Saturday, I think we are going to be getting pretty cold. We have some Arctic air that's going to be spilling in for sure, Mike, for sure. Leslie, well, maybe it'll be more rain than snow. I think that's possible, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. A happy Friday to you too, Cindy there in Comstock. Joseph, how's Sturgis looking for next week? Let's get right to it so I can answer some questions. Greg in Harper Creek checking in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, we're starting off with a look at live Doppler radar. It's all quiet. Nothing going on right now. This is our 100-mile scan, of course. Zoom it out and you'll see where we do have some snow that is developing here, starting to build just a little bit over northeast Illinois and northwest Indiana. Connie, hello to you. Thanks for the wave. I appreciate it. Mary says, bring on the snow. I got to tell you, I'm just going to be honest here. We're going to look at the model here coming up in just a little bit. But I'm telling you, I think this might be trending more toward a slushy rain-snow mix with a few inches of accumulation, but not a heavy-duty snow. Don't forget, there's a second facet, second impact to this storm that we're sort of overlooking and to talk about. Are we going to get a lot of snow? Are we going to get a mix of rain and snow? How much accumulation? We're not really talking much about the wind, and I think the wind is going to be a very big factor in this, or could be, and that's going to be Tuesday night and especially Wednesday morning when we could have gusts in excess of 40 miles per hour. Again, we'll wait and see. That part of the storm, too, is also developing. Going to Ann Arbor Monday, you're looking good. Travel's good for you there. Ron, safe travels to you. Nancy, hello to you. Thanks for checking in. Tina wants the snow. You want to sell plow parts. Well, we'll get some eventually, right? We've got to, right? Jolene, hello to you. Ready for spring? It's a little bit early for that, but I hear you. Deanna, hey. And Springfield, hello to you. Thank you so much, Sharon in Union City, and Joey in East Leroy. All right, here's live Doppler radar. You see, we don't have really too much that's out there right now, so let's move on to our hour by hour. All is quiet, by the way. If you're out and about tonight, you're good to go. Even tomorrow morning, look at our hour by hour, and you'll see what I mean here, that there's not too much going on. Cloudy skies, upper 20s to around 30 by 6 o'clock in the morning. Hello to you, Michaela. Michaela in Coldwater. Thanks for checking in. Joyce, hello to you in the Lakeview neighborhood of Battle Creek. Thank you for checking in. We're going to run our clock here from 6 a.m. to noon. And notice as we stop it here, we got a little bit of snow starting to show up west of US 131. But there's one thing I want to say through this whole animation I'm going to play that's going to take us all the way to Sunday afternoon. All the snow that you see on here is going to be very light, not a lot to it. Mike says, got to get snow sometime. You're right. You're right. If we're going to get to our forecast that we had here, the weather alert team forecast for the winter, I think was 52 to 57, 51 to 56. We got to hustle if we're going to get that in. Let's see. Thank you very much, Joanne. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that very much. And also for watching on News Channel 3. All right, let's move from noon Saturday to 6 p.m. Did you notice? It looks like, first of all, most of the snow is going to be staying west of US 131. But again, remember, as I go through this, even through Saturday night, all of that snow that you see that's out there is very light. It's going to be really widely scattered. And so I think totals from this, we'll get to the snow totals here in just a moment, but it's not going to be impressive. But you do see that we're going to be dealing with snow Saturday night into Sunday morning. You see how it's just sort of dancing around the area and then moving out largely, I think, by the time we get to tomorrow night. Sunday evening. By sunset Sunday, this is going to be winding down. So how much? Well, here's our snow tracker, and it's updated now with about an inch from Kalamazoo west along I-94. Down 131 to Three Rivers and Sturgis, Paw Paw, South Haven, Benton Harbor. Everybody else, even less than an inch. And that's over 2 days. That's from Saturday morning to late Sunday afternoon, or a day and a half anyway. So, that's not very much by our standards, to be sure. Leslie, looking forward to driving in the nasty weather. We'll cross our fingers for that. Yeah, Mike, send that to me on Twitter, X, whatever it's called these days. Send me a DM on that. I'd like to take a look at that, and I'll get back to you on that. Winter is finally here, Orla. Oh, just wait, buddy. In about 10 days, by the way, thanks for checking in from Paw Paw. In about 10 days, that's when I think we're going to be looking at some really cold air, and that's going to turn the table, I think, on the forecast. Now, how long is that going to last? That's still to be determined, I think, but we're seeing a change in the pattern, and I'm talking a large-scale air mass change that's going to be bringing in coldest air easily so far this season, and such that we haven't seen yet. I got to go back and look at my records, but I don't think that we've had a day this year, this season. I'm talking about even going back to that Halloween snow day where we've had highs only in the 20s. I mean, I'll have to go back and check that. But to be this far into the season, I mean, we're here the 5th of January, and I can tell you right now, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, we're still, even with this storm coming up next week and behind it, I don't think we're going to have highs only in the 20s. So, I mean, that is not a very, that's not a cold winter so far. But that's going to be changing. It looks like in about 11 days. Now, remember, you know what I feel about that? That's a long way out. But right now, that's something to be on guard for. I mean, this would be like a huge air mass shift that would bring in the coldest air so far this season, which, of course, would mean it's a much snowier pattern. That's still a long way away. Brad, hello to you. Richard in Battle Creek, thanks for checking in. Union City tomorrow, just some light snow, no problems for you. Kathy, hello. Nancy, hello to you. Julia, snow is no one wants that snow. I don't know. You're gonna get those fighting words there for some folks. Hello to you, Karen. A snow day. I wouldn't be surprised if there's one Tuesday and maybe Wednesday, but I'm not the superintendent, and we're still a few days out. David, no ice out there at all. I mean, for ice fishermen, there's just nothing going on out there right now. Let's see, Molly, hello to you, and hello to Tyler. Hello to you. Thanks for being here. Brian, good evening. Thank you so much. That's very kind and high praise, and I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I really do. Rick from Coldwater. Ron, hello to you. Ronald Smith, hello. Could fire up that machine. A colder air mass coming in over that still warmer Lake Michigan. We'll do that. All right, let's get to some of what I put here. Tracking Tuesday storms. What do we really what are we certain of? What are we pretty confident in? And what are we not confident in at all? Very confident that a winter storm is going to impact our part of the Great Lakes next week, Tuesday, I would say. Very, very high confidence in that. High confidence. You'll see. On my 7-day forecast, I got a 100% chance of rain on Tuesday, and I think that mirrors what the Weather Service has going. Now, what looks likely but maybe doesn't have that much confidence, gusty wind, which really could put that up there in that winter storm. I think gusty wind is very likely. That's going to be mainly Tuesday night, Wednesday morning in particular. Okay? Aubrey, hello to you in Portage. Tony from Paw Paw, thanks for being here. Deborah, hope you get nothing in the whole area. We'll see about that. Jolene says, El Nino has done it over. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Mary, do we need a southern shift for snow? Yeah, I would say so, right? I would say so. Pam, hello to you in Three Rivers, although they're not getting it up north yet either, too. Kim in Mount Pleasant, thanks for checking in from Chippewa country. George, thanks. You still have those glasses on that make me appear young. I appreciate that. And Leslie, thanks for the thanks. All right, so what is just about certain, slam dunk, is that we're going to have a powerful winter storm that's going to be moving into our part of the Great Lakes, beginning really next Monday night. It'll be with us. Let's say if we start Monday evening, 6, 7 o'clock at night, but the impacts are going to be building, especially late Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening through Wednesday morning. That's when we're really going to be dealing with this system here. That looks certain. What looks likely out of this is some gusty winds, in particular, late Tuesday night through Wednesday morning. Gusts maybe in excess of 40. Mike, thanks. I hope you have a good weekend, and thanks for those wishes for everybody else. And also what looks likely is a wintry mix of precipitation, meaning I don't think this is going to be just all snow for our area, for West Michigan, nor do I think it's going to be all rain. I think there's going to be a mix, so that wintry precipitation looks likely. But what is still uncertain? What is still the $64,000 question? If you're a boomer, you know what that means. The storm track. The storm track is still uncertain. Is it going to be more snow than rain? Is it going to be more rain than snow? Is it going to be just a slushy mix? How much are we going to get? Remember this, if we're talking about our window of opportunity for seeing snow is going to go for, let's say, even just 24 hours. If we're looking at a snowfall total of an estimate of X amount of inches, I'm not even giving a number, but if during 5 or 6 or 7 hours of that snow making or that snow accumulating time that we have, if we have rain, that's going to knock everything down. And then we don't end up with nearly as much accumulation. That's the bugaboo here. So here's what we're looking at. We have a couple of different ways the storm could go. Okay, a couple of different ways. There are multiple ways the storm could go, but two of the big ones. One, as you see track one, if that low, which is going to be coming up out of the southern plains, really starting to intensify as it moves up into the Missouri Valley and then the Mississippi Valley, right? As it approaches from the southwest. If it steers a little bit more to the northwest, which would be track one on the map here that you see. If it steers in that direction, then we're going to get more rain than snow, because the longer that we spend on the east side of that low, you have to picture counterclockwise winds flowing around that low. So if you're on the east side, you're getting a southerly flow. That's going to be a warmer flow, and that's going to keep things warmer, and that's going to bring more rain. So if that low stays more west, northwest, let's say that it moves, instead of going, let's say, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Cleveland, if it instead goes St. Louis, or let's say Quincy, you see Quincy on the map, Quincy, Chicago, Saginaw, or Alpena, right? That track would leave us in a lot of rain and not a lot of snow. The second track is more to our south, and that could put us in a bullseye for some very heavy wet snow. Or it could sort of split the difference there, and we're going to get a mix of the two. That's still to be determined. So whenever I say that, that we're looking at questions as far as storm track goes, and I mean, that's everything. Storm track tells us everything. And so we're still too far out to get any clarity on that. I want to show you what the latest model run that I'm running here will show what's going on. We see that low. Notice it's going to be coming. You can see that center of that low by Tuesday morning is going to be, let's say south of St. Louis, right? South of St. Louis. With snow starting Tuesday morning. So there could be some impacts already Tuesday morning from this storm. But as we go from Tuesday morning to late Tuesday afternoon, or mid to late Tuesday afternoon, with that low, this track is moving it up closer to Indianapolis. Notice it's bringing up some of that rain. So we're seeing a bit of a rain-snow mix that maybe even becomes more rain than snow by Tuesday night. And remember, if we have a few hours where we're getting more rain than snow, then we're probably going to not see as much accumulation. I think we're going to get accumulating snow, but probably not as much. Now, let's go from Tuesday late night into Wednesday. That low moves off to the northeast. Winds start wrapping around, counterclockwise flow. It's coming in out of the northwest. It's a cold flow out of the northwest. Colder air coming in is going to turn all that precip back to snow, but it's not going to last too long, because as that low jets on off to the northwest, or northeast, I should say, that's when it's going to be really windy, and we'll see some snow showers, but then it will be winding down. So I hope that makes sense, everybody. I know that was a very long explanation there. I missed a lot of comments there. Jeanette, hello to you. Trying to see if the lights were out. Oh, the northern lights. Oh, well, we have a lot of clouds, I think, moving in too. Back in Chicago, David, Monday afternoon. Yeah, I think you should be able to race back. Good idea. But Monday afternoon, you should be able to get back. But I wouldn't dilly-dally around in Chicago there. I definitely, get on back. Thanks, Mike, for the thanks. I appreciate it. George, good question. Any freezing rain out of this? No. If there's a silver lining in this storm, it's that I don't think we're going to be dealing with any freezing rain out of this. If anything, all the precipitation is going to be liquid or snow type sleet. No freezing rain. Good question. You're right, David, with the evaporative cooling for sure. Patty just got on. Road's going to be bad in the morning. No, I don't think so. Light snow maybe, but I just don't anticipate bad roads, Patty, for you tomorrow morning from Lawrence to Kalamazoo. Although, always, of course, take it easy, be safe. But I don't think you'll have any problems. Tyler, there you go. So how much snow on Tuesday? I think on the low side, I think we're looking at about maybe 2 to 4 inches. I think on the high side, we could be looking at several. I'm not going to go there with some bigger numbers. Look, there have been so many people out there over the last few days, certainly the last 3 or 4 days, that have been putting out some wild numbers. I've seen some crazy numbers, but a lot of things have to come together for us to, let's say, be up in the neighborhood of 8, 9, maybe even 10 inches of snow. Is it out of the question? Of course it's not out of the question. I think, is that likely right now? I don't think it's likely, but it's not out of the question. That's one of the things that we're still trying to figure. So Tyler, that's why I say stay tuned. Scooter, like I said, I think there's a range from 2 to 4 on the low side. I think there could be, in the upper single digits on the high side. Got to wait and see on that one. Mike, hello to you in Lawton. Robert, hey, long time, buddy. They're from South Tejas. I hope everything's going good. 45. Got some chilly air coming in down there. You guys might have to actually use some heat, right? Amber, you're so kind, and I appreciate it very much. Mike, you like track 2? I knew you would. I'm not surprised by that. Mary's wanting that southern shift so that we can get some snow in here. This weekend, not a lot. No more than an inch or so, Rocky, on the snow for this weekend. So you should be prepared. Next week, might be next week shoveling a little bit more. And I'll tell you this, in about 10 to 14 days, maybe even more. I'm doing great, Tay. Thanks for checking in. Hudsonville in the house. Thanks to you, Amber. Enjoy that Seattle pizza out there, David. I hope you're doing well on the left coast. I see. Jeanette, I got your message there. Thank you so much, Patty. Thank you. And Tiffany's in the house. Thanks for representing Kentwood, Orlo. From Misty there. I miss getting warnings about the weather. Oh, Misty talking to Orlo. That's good. Tyler, any snow tomorrow? Yes, light snow, but I don't even think it's going to really amount to much. And I don't anticipate it causing problems on the roads either, because we're looking at temperatures tomorrow, certainly in the day. I mean, in the morning, I'm not going to say there wouldn't be any slick spots, but I don't think it'll be a big problem. But our temps are going to be topping out tomorrow afternoon in the mid-30s. Add to that the fact that any snow that's coming down is very light. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Alicia, good evening to you. Renee and Sturgis. Joe, it's possible that we could get that. Marissa, hello to you. And Lori and Galesburg. As always, appreciate it very much. Marissa, I would say Mother Nature's at least a month behind. We are way behind on the snowfall. All right, temps right now are in the upper 20s to around 30 degrees. There's nothing really spectacular about that. We're going to see a low in the mid-20s. I think by dawn we'll start to see a few flurries, but I just want to tell you, I can't stress enough that the snow that you see on the 7-day, the Sealy Auto Group 7-day for Saturday and Sunday is going to be light. It's going to be on the lighter side. Maybe not even an inch over a 2-day period. So that's not a lot. Monday, a break in the action, and then we'll go on Tuesday with that rain-snow mix, still to be determined. Over the weekend, listen, I know that people are saying, well, when are you going to finally make a call on it? Well, Saturday and Sunday, we get more model runs, and I think once we get closer, we'll see a little more of the coalescing, let's say, of the forecast models, hopefully anyway, into something that we can somewhat trust. But this is one of those classic storms where the difference in a track of 50 to certainly 100 miles of that low is going to make a huge difference into whether you're seeing a lot of rain and a little bit of slushy snow or just a lot of very wet, heavy snow that's problematic. One thing we will see out of this, remember, you go back to what I said, what is known for sure. What's certain is that our part of the Great Lakes is going to have a big storm that arrives late Monday night through Tuesday and then exits during the day on Wednesday. That's certain. What's, I would say, almost certainty, strong winds coming in with that. Particularly so Wednesday, late Tuesday night, Wednesday morning into early Wednesday afternoon. Those things are pretty certain. What's still to be determined is the track of the storm. And that answers the question, how much snow, how much rain. So hopefully that'll help you out just a little bit. We could see some power outages on Wednesday, Jolene. Marissa, I don't see what you got there. You might have to go over the river and through the woods to get there. April, hello to you. Sharon, hello as well. Oh, I see Tyler going to your grandmother's house tomorrow. Any snow? I know you should be good to go, Tyler, for a trip to Hastings. I don't anticipate any problems at all. Jolene, that's a good point that you bring up. There could be some power outages Wednesday. But hey, we're like 5 days away from that. But just because there's going to be some strong winds, on its own, 40-mile-per-hour winds doesn't usually cause a lot of power outages. But if we happen to get a wet, heavy snow coming down with that, that could create some problems. Still too far out to make a call on that with any kind of clarity, but that's something that we're certainly going to be working on. And in fact, if you saw the story that we had earlier this evening at 5:30 and 6, meteorologist Will Haney talking to consumers about what they're looking at. And they're playing the same game that the rest of us in the meteorology community are playing, and that is we're going to have to wait and see. We're just going to have to wait and see. So that's sort of where it stands, everybody. I hope that's helpful. I hope you found this a helpful update. We are due for something, that's for sure, April. It has been doggone quiet so far. This weekend, Rocky, not a lot, maybe an inch, and that's in 2 days, so that's not a lot. Next week, we're going to wait and see. Could be several inches of wet, heavy snow, but it may also be just a lot of rain and only a little bit of sleety, slushy type snow. You see the 7-day there? It's going to be windy on Wednesday. Coming in behind it, a little bit of light snow. What you see on there on Thursday and Friday is not impressive or impactful. But here's another bug to put in your ear. Beyond that, a week and a half out, 10, 11 days out, we could have some major cold air coming in here, and that could change everything pretty big time for us for the middle to end of the month, pretty much the middle to end of the month. Most schools have in-service day for Monday the 15th, so the snow won't make a difference by then. I don't think we're going to. Well, then we'll have to wait and see. We might have some super cold air coming in by then, Marissa. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks so much for being with me. I appreciate it. Don't forget, I'm live at 10 o'clock. And by the way, I've passed on those concerns. Ron, for example, can't remember who else was saying that they were having some issues finding what was the CW7. It's still our channel, but now it's ARC, A-R-C. From Comcast. So I'm passing those concerns along. So thank you for that. But I will be live at 10 on the ARC. I'll be live at 11 on the Mothership News Channel 3. Jeff Porter actually is in for Colin Rogers tomorrow morning. So you can look for him from 6 a.m. to 10, 6 a.m. to 10 with live updates. Listen, that's must-see TV. He's going to be tracking the light snow, but I don't think it's going to be a problem, Rocky, for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow during the day. I just don't anticipate big problems this weekend. Driving conditions could be quite challenging next Tuesday and Wednesday. We're still working on that part of the weather story. Thanks, April, for the thanks. I appreciate it. So, Jeff, give him a watch tomorrow because he's going to have more. He's going to have a new model run that he's going to be able to digest and interpret and then show you tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. to 10. And then Will Haney is back tomorrow evening. As you move through your Saturday. Austin, that's very kind, and I appreciate it very much. And Lori, thank you. Don't forget the weather app. You are right. Don't forget our weather. Hey, is this a nice time to have that weather app? You bet. It's a free download. Try it out, especially even this weekend. Just track that little bit of light snow that we're going to have, and it'll certainly come in handy next week, no matter what we get, no matter what comes from this storm. So that's our free weather app. Go into the App Store, WWMT Weather, and, of course, our website, wwmt.com/weather. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Hey, we made it. It's the weekend. And so I hope you're getting some good relaxation this evening, and I hope you have a wonderful, restful, and relaxing Saturday and Sunday. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.